In this story, I'm doing a redo of the first two videos that I've posted. In this one, we're gonna skip to when Kushna was a kid. The 5 elements, the all 5 natures will be sealed in the 5 element, the 100 healing technique. And has been, I believe, for some people in other what ifs and stories alike. Fanfics use the 5 element prong seal, which is a sealing technique to cut off the QB from the host. If my memory is correct on that. By using the 100 sealing technique with 5 different elements should have the similar effect. And Kushina gets the QB sealed and well, they copy the seal, they transfer the seal from the host to Kushina along with the 5-element healing technique. From now on, I'm gonna call it the 5-element sealing technique. Sorry about the noise. My cat is deciding to be annoying little shit. Alright, so let's get back in the story. And we now skip forward in time where the Kibi attack is happening. Naruto was born with this time. He was born with abnormal strength and durability in healing. And is very strong strength for a baby in abnormal chakra levels. He's able to keep up with Tsunade in strength at the age of 6. Just a little foreshadow. But the dude still comes and attacks. He ends up separating Kushina as usual, or the baby from Kushina, and he ends up interrupting and getting the QB away from the mast. The QB still gets released. Kushina had made a scroll that has part of her soul trapped in it, along with a scroll that at an age limit will, with a drop of blood or chakra, will activate. The seal and the stuff would come out. Kushina had it set up for a kid at the age of 4, or he will be learning how to use how to meditate. Over a period of time, this would help Naruto meet the QB and get smarter and learn how to sense nature energy, but not how to use it. Sadly, you can feel the nature chakra around him. Due to him not learning how to absorb it, it will not affect him at all, and it won't work for him. Okay, now that we got that away. And it has different books on tactics and weapons and all that stuff that you need to know to be a ninja. Anything that you can think of that he needs to know or learn. and it's set up in an age category. First one's 4, then the other ones go up to 12. So, yeah. Now we skip to when Naruto is in the acad, not in the academy, but in the orphanage, where he gets beat up, like beaten, and broken bones, multiple broken bones, cuts, bruises, burn marks, poisoned several times, and poison that will attack him. Good thing that he will gain immunity to all the poisons. Lucky for him, he's able to use the poisons in a several years. They end up kicking him out of the orphanage at the age of 4. End up living on the street for a while. Battered and bruised, passed out at one point, and he will wake up in the hospital where Hiruzen is. You see Hiruzen, in this time, Hiruzen has also met up with Naruto on several occasions at the orphanage, but he never caught on to the stuff. And he asked what happened. The orphanage wasn't too nice for me. They threatened to kill me. They've beaten me, broken my bones, cuts, bruises, and punctured organs. And Hiruzen let out a sigh. And he says, and Hiruzen asked, I'm gonna put you in a place, get you a place to stay. Naruto would say, I would like to stay out in the forest outside of town, deep in the forest. Are you sure, Naruto? Hiruzen would ask. Yes, I would like to build a house out there with basement and underground basement with multiple things like torture, a room where I can gather intel on people that come to my house without permission. That's not me and you, like one of the civilians. And a room where I can gather herbs and a training grounds. Naruto would say, you get it done, Hiruzen. Naruto would ask, yes, it can be done. But first, let's get dressed. Hiruzen would say to the boy, and he would call an Anbu to have the place made. And if you don't know, it's the wood user. And Rosen would grab the scroll that Kushina had gave him. As we go into backflash, Kushina had had handed a scroll to Ruzin and tell him when they're to the age of 4, if I'm not around to give it to him, can you give it to him for me, Ruzin? Kushina would ask. It's only a worst case scenario. I will hand it to him if I'm still around. Can you keep it top secret, please? Ruzin would nod in agreement. And then the flashback ends. Ruzin would go to his and keep this scroll on him at all times. And we cut to the house and basement where Naruto's new house in the middle of the forest. Naruto Ruzin would take it to him and he would hand him a scroll. This was something that your mom told me to hand you when you was at the age of 4, Ruzin would say. And your mom was once... Ruzin will tell Naruto about his mom. Your mom's name was Kushina Uzumaki from the Uzumaki clan. Sadly, the Uzumaki clan is no longer existing. Ruzin would say, currently, your mom was one of the last Uzumakis. There's not any left that I'm aware of besides her, Ruzin would say. And Naruto would get back. Anyways, here's the scroll. And he said, once you put a drop of blood on the very first one, stuff will come out, and each part of the scroll has different things in it, and it will depend on your age to go through it, each piece by piece. Ruzin would say, as Naruto would just nod, and he would do the first one, and after Ruzin left and went back to his work, and Naruto would read it, and it said, and it tells him about these jutsu, multi-shadow clone jutsu. It's not read. And it says there's send 2 shadow clones, have one of them transform into a different version of yourself. I'm just making this up as I go along anyways. And play rock, paper, scissors. But first, go like several, have them far away from you as possible where you can't see them. Naruto would do this, and he would say, and he would learn the secrets behind them all by that shadow clone. That's how he would learn the secret of the shadow clone. And he would realize what that means. He can have his clones read and do and practice the stuff, and he would gain the experiences, is what Naruto said. And he would have the books being read, and Jutsu's read that, and the book, there were 6 books, and it would say one of them will be tactics, like tactics, another one on highly lethal booby traps. Other one is on sentry and stealth and sentry techniques and clans and clans. And the last one will have well, I did say four, so let me think. One is about the laws that you have to follow, and another one was stealth and tracking and techniques as well, and clans that use tracking. And the last book is on sealings, well, forbidden seals and sealing techniques. And it's a big book. Naruto would learn from it. He would send his clones to learn from it too. And here's the last one of the techniques. Techniques that is in stealth. It has different techniques such as the well, it won't have the transformation. Naruto would read upon. Naruto will have all his clones read and practice these methods and use them. And I will always skip 5 years. I will skip 3 to 4 years until Naruto can move on to the next one. Next thing. And this one would be how to use bones, wires, and kunai and shuriken throwing. And Naruto would then learn 5 element chakra. You can add chakra nature to increase it, or use your chakra, generate your chakra until it will go faster or some crap like that. Naruto, once he read that, he would say, I guess I get it. But what's chakra natures, Naruto would say. Yeah, and it would say to meditate and gather your thoughts. So if you're confused, use meditate. Meditation, you can gain a lot by meditation, it would say, especially non-stop. And once this was said, he will have his clones do things, and he would meditate for a week, and small breaks for food. And he would finally meet the 9 tails. Not to mention he feels the nature around him and senses everything around him, but he can't go into sage mode. But he can feel the weird stuff around him, and he can feel people and everything. This is where he would meet Kurama the 9 Tails. And Kurama would ask, what are you doing here, Brat? And he will then, Naruto would say, I was just meditating, and I end up here, where am I? And Kurama would say, this is your mindscape. I believe you already know what's going on. What happened all those years ago, right? And Naruto would nod his head, saying, you get your ass sealed because you get yourself sued by a Sharingan and end up getting control to attack the village. Am I wrong? Krama would say, correct. Okay. I will see you around, Krama, Naruto would say. As Naruto would walk up, get back to his work, and at this point he would start doing water, tree, and wall walking exercises. It's at this time around he had people that has entered the forest. He has knocked unconscious. Is that avoided his booby traps. He manages to hide and use stealth techniques due to the box, and he will knock them out and put a seal on them, and it will turn invisible, or you can't see the mark, and this mark would allow him to control or have someone shut down someone's nerves or paralyze him, paralyze by sending electricity through the network of his body. Not enough to kill him, but to make him stop, but he can't move. Kind of in paralysis. It can harm the person, and he can use the mark to put that person in genjutsu. It also can torture somebody. It's a torture mark, let's be honest here. Causing pain through and other things. Naruto will have a Naruto had to learn all this at the age of 6, and he turned, and this person was a random Anbu who that was wanted to kill the QB brat that strayed away from Hiruzen and Danzo, and he basically broke the person's soul and spirit, broke him down and broke the person into doing what he wants and says. This Anbu is a female, just to put that on the table. So, basically, they will do whatever he wants. If not, and he would tell him flat out, you see that mark that appeared on your arm, he would say, and they would check her arm to see there is a mark there. Naruto would say, this is a seal. So basically, it's kind of like a torture tag to seal. And can paralyze you, kill you, electrocute you to immobilization. I can put in genjutsu. You can feel pain with the genjutsu, and it's hooked up to your nervous system. If I want, I can temporarily have you do what I want, whatever I want, and whenever. But only temporary, about an hour. I can have you humiliate yourself in the front of everybody if I wanted. Naruto would say, even take your life away. Naruto would say when she woke up. When she wakes up, he would say this to her face. Come at me to kill me. If you try to harm me, it won't be pleasant, let's just say, as Naruto said this to her. And this person is in fact a Uchiha. Just some random Uchiha. No name yet. And he would say, you will be here, living here. You won't be able to leave. And if you leave, I have it set up, if you leave the place without my permission, it will kill you on the spot, Naruto would say. If you want to try it, go ahead, I'm not going to stop you. Naruto would then walk out. Ten leaves. And I'm gonna end it here.